What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good. How about you?
Doing good. Give everyone a few minutes to hop on here. While we're waiting, does anyone want to start us off with some wins or exciting things they want to share? Anyone get a deal? Anyone get a new connection that could be prosperous? Or
Okay, I'll start off, Roham.
start us off, Lou.
I'll start off. So there's four developments in Georgia that we connected up with someone. And so the one, everything's ready to go. And so it's just needing a buyer. And
Okay.
so we have like a buyer connection.
Sure.
So we're getting to get in on that deal. And it's like about a $12 million deal.
Wow.
So that's the one. And it's an awesome place where I guess Microsoft just purchased like 90 acres or something. So they're
Yeah.
moving there. Google's moving there, and there's all kinds of big players there.
Yeah.
So that's the one, and that's not even the biggest. That's probably the second smallest one. So so we're definitely going to be ringing you for
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how helpful I'll be for that level of deal, but I'll be able to point you in the right direction and get you the people who've got the answers. So that's super
Awesome.
exciting though. So good for you
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, keep us posted on the
Thank
deal.
you, Roham.
Huge, for sure. Well, cool. Who else has got a one they want to share?
I got in the program.
Hey, I'll take that. That's a win for me. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to give everyone another few minutes to hop on here, but while we do, just a couple quick things. So today's call, I'm really going to be focusing on how to get your first couple deals and a lot of the strategies I like to use personally and what I think is the best way to get started, get your first deal in real estate. And most of the stuff I talk about is free, answering any questions we have along the way. But this is really what I recommend for people who are brand new to real estate, never done a deal before, and just want to make some money and need some help and direction. This call is for you. And we got a few rock stars in here. We got Dave. What's up, buddy? It's good to see you as always. So cool. Let's get right into it. So for today's call, how to get your first deal. Realistically, anyone who joins real estate and gets in this program or just wants to get into real estate, typically they all have the same end goal, right? It's, hey, I want to buy enough rentals and live off enough of the passive income and cash flow that I don't have to work anymore. And everyone I ever meet who wants to get into real estate, like that's their goal, right? By the time they get into real estate, do their first deal, buy their first property, that goal usually changes quite a bit, right? And the reason is when you buy a rental property, it's a great investing strategy. And especially if you're not trying to go very fast, it's a very safe way to make sure that you're going to have a nice retirement, right? If I just buy a rental property every 2-3 years, and just put some money down, like close to 5% with the conventional loan, and I buy 10 of those properties and rent them out at $1,000 a month, I'll make $10,000 in cash flow once I buy all 10 properties. But the thing is, to buy a property, especially a rental, you're typically putting anywhere between like 25 and 45K down. And that can be a lot of money for people to, one, save up in the first place. And then two, by the time they do save it up, it's like, hey, are you really going to be able to do that 10 more times the next like 5 to 10 years? So that way you can get those 10 cash flowing rental properties under your belt. You'd have to go make, $450,000 to $250,000. And for a lot of people, that amount is just too much for them to fathom saving up. Right. And so that's where a lot of people start with flipping, wholesaling, being a real estate agent. So that way they can increase their active income. And with that active income, then go and be able to build up enough capital and buy enough rental properties. Right. And so with a lot of people, they first want to start with rentals, but then realize, hey, I got to make more money first so I can buy those rentals. And that's where flipping, wholesaling, and being a realtor can come in, because they can lead to some big checks, and those big checks you can then use to turn back around and buy rental properties with, right? And so a lot of people ask me, they're like, okay, well, how should I get started? Should I be an agent? Should I wholesale first? Should I flip first? What makes the most sense, right? Now, personally, I think the two that are the easiest for people who are just getting started are being a real estate agent and flipping houses, right? The reason I agree with both of these over wholesaling, I love wholesaling personally. Naturally, I would love to just be a full-time wholesaler over being an agent or an investor. But I think for people who are new to the industry, if you want to become a wholesaler, it takes a few more skills than it would to be a flipper or an agent. And what I mean by that is if you want to flip houses, right, realistically, you just need to be able to find deals. So if you can buy deals from wholesalers, you don't have to be good at sales and marketing. You just have to know what's a good deal or not, right? And then basically have enough wholesalers sending you deals and then just say yes or no, is this a good deal? Two, money, right? And you don't need your own money to flip houses. Most investors don't use their own money. They use hard money and private money. And so private money are friends and family. Hard money is like institutional hard money lenders. And these are the type of guys that typically finance 90% of these big flips that people do. The other 10% is usually come up by the investor themselves or their private money lenders, right? But typically, a lot of people know people with money, like especially in this day and age, social media makes it very easy to find people with money. And if you don't know anyone with money, no friends or family, you have the other students in this group. And our student directory can help you connect with other students in other markets who will bring that to the deal, right? And then lastly, you've got contractors, and finding contractors, again, it's not that hard, right? If you want to find contractors, for me personally, go to Home Depot early enough, you're going to find a ton of them there. Go around driving and seeing any big blue dumpsters outside of someone's house. You can find contractors usually working on properties, and then also ask for referrals. You might have students that refer people. You might have people that are in your own friends and family in your local area that they'd recommend you. And so for me personally, flipping a house, you really just need to be good at finding wholesalers. You don't need a lot. You need like 5 to 10. You need to find someone with money. And then you need to find a hard money lender and you need to find a general contractor. If you can find 4 things and put them together, you can make money, right? Now, the second hardest to me is being a real estate agent. Being a real estate agent is nice because it doesn't require as much investment, right? If you want to flip in wholesale, your time is going to be heavily invested into those things. But if you want to be an agent or wholesale, you have 2 other skills you need to learn, and that's sales and marketing, right? One, you need to be able to generate leads, because if I want to wholesale a house, right, basically I have to be the first one to talk to that homeowner. There can't be a middleman. There can't be another agent or another wholesaler who got to them first. My first job is getting to these homeowners initially and seeing if they want to sell their house. And if they do, then being good enough at sales to lock them up under contract at a discounted price that's even cheaper than the flipper needs it at, right? Because if I want to flip the house, I could probably buy it at like 170. But if I want to wholesale that house, I have to buy it below 170. So that way I can even make my profit. And then the guy who is buying it can go flip the house and still make a profit, right? So for me as a wholesaler, I need deals even lower than when the flippers need them. So I need to be really good at marketing, really good at sales, and understand basics of real estate, how to calculate ARVs, how to estimate repairs, how to be able to tell whether that home is a good deal or not, right? And then lastly, as a wholesaler, you need to learn all these skills, but plus you're not licensed, you're not a professional. And there's not as many people that can help you outside of like coaching programs like this. If you become an agent, whatever brokerage you join, your broker will help you. All the agents there are most likely going to help you. It's a great and easy way to make money that's kind of risk-free because you're not risking any of your own money. You're just helping other people buy and sell. Right. And personally, I think if you do want to be an agent, I think it's great when you're a brand new investor to start out and see if you'd even like it, because it's a really easy way to make a lot of money, to be honest. It takes about 5 to 10 hours of work per house that I work on as an agent. And, I still make like not as much as a flipper or wholesaler would, but I make like, average like a $10,000 check every deal I do. Right. And so if I can start adding that to my list of services as a real estate professional, say I go up to a house and I am talking with the homeowner before anyone, the homeowner's like, hey, I want to sell this house. Well, cool. If I'm an agent and an investor, I get to show up to that house and say, hey, I have both options for you. You can both sell your house with me and I'll list it on the market. We'll go try to get you top dollar, but you're going to have some headaches, probably put some repairs in it, have to deal with some, just BS that comes with listing your house on the market. Or B, I can buy your house directly from you. Now I can't pay as much as, someone who would buy it to live in it would, but you're going to make very close. Once we go pencil out all the numbers, the difference in how much you're making is not a ton. So if you'd rather, you could sell it to me quick and easy, or B, we can sell it on the market and it'll take a little longer, have a little more headaches, but you'll make a little more money, right? And then you get to present them both options. How long does the training and licensing take? I think it only takes, to be honest, each state it's a little different, but like you could get your real estate license in about a month to 2 months if you really just tried. I don't think it takes more than 30 to 60 days. to just do all the steps, go through the school, pass their exam, study for the exam. If you really tried, 30 to 60 days is probably all you need to pass for your real estate license. But yeah, back to the main focus, getting your first deal, right? So the reason I bring all this up is that I personally think flipping is easier than being an agent and being a wholesaler. I think really you just need to be good at finding wholesalers, finding people with money, and finding contractors, and then just being able to analyze deals, see if it's a good deal or not, then bring all these people together to make money together. Right? Where if I want to wholesale, I need to be good at sales and marketing too. I need to get in front of homeowners. And then same on the agent side, right? With agents, it's a little easier because you're not exactly buying or selling their house. You're just helping them buy or sell, but you still need to be good at marketing and sales and be able to find potential home buyers or home sellers to help, right? And so most people have full-time jobs. They don't have time to go and add a third job on top of what else they want to do already, because you have your job. Plus, you want to become a real estate professional. Plus, if you want to go be an agent or a wholesaler, you need to get good at sales and marketing, right? And so for me, you're taking on a lot if you try to do wholesaling or being an agent. With flipping though, it's realistically, hey, go find 5 to 10 wholesalers to send me deals. Go find someone with money. If I don't know anyone, friends, family with money, find another student who's in my market or even not in my market that has money and would be willing to partner with me. And then 3, find a hard money lender that's willing to cover most of the payments and stuff, and then just find contractors to go do the work and a listing agent, right? Like it's not that hard. And then personally for flipping, really it just boils down to 3 things: the deals, the money, and the contractors. And we're going to go over how to find all 3 of those things on this call. So first is deals. Now, personally, when I think you're just starting out, I recommend for people who are just getting started and don't probably have a lot of money because you've spent some money on joining this coaching program. You probably have a lot of other debts and stuff that you have to pay, taking care of your family and your house bills. So personally, I think most people should try to get their first deal for free. I think it's possible. I've seen people even wholesale and get their first deal for free, but it took longer than they probably wanted, right? It's funny though, because I've only seen one person wholesale without spending $1. Right? Like I've only met one person out of all the like 700 plus students that we've coached that's actually gone, and maybe there's more and I just haven't heard their stories, but I only know of one person who's actually gone and like wholesaled a house with 0 money out of pocket. And it took him like 60 days of door knocking in Summerlin, like in Las Vegas. Right. And so like, it wasn't easy, but he did it. It's possible. I just think it's easier to use what I'm about to teach you. So the 2 things that I recommend for people who are just getting started and trying to get their first flip are the wholesalers and MLS, right? So first with wholesalers. To find wholesalers, all I recommend you do is go on Facebook. So I'm going to share my screen here. Lost the screen, hang on. Okay, cool. So I would just simply go to Facebook. Go join some local real estate investing Facebook groups. So for example, in Las Vegas, I would type Las Vegas wholesale and then probably real estate, because wholesale can be a very general term. So like Costco wholesales, right? They don't wholesale houses. That's what we do, but they still wholesale. So off-market real estate, Las Vegas. I'm already in this group, but I would go join that. If you're in Arizona wholesale real estate deals, I would join that. Las Vegas real estate, join that. And then if I can find any other ones that fit, and they'll ask you questions like, are you a licensed agent? I am in Nevada. Homes for sale or rent, Las Vegas. And you can join the group. Are you looking to buy, sell, or rent? I'm looking to sell. Are you open to speaking to a real estate professional? No. Facebook search. So they'll ask you these questions and stuff and ask you like, are you an investor? Are you a wholesaler? What do you do? Right. And then, just try to find any and every group you can for your local market that has real estate wholesaling, and, change up your search a little too. So like Las Vegas real estate investors, instead of wholesalers, just try to find other investors and then go join those groups. Las Vegas real estate investors, boom. Las Vegas real estate investors, boom. And now what I would do is go to one of these groups. Let's go to one I'm active in. So like this one. And I would write a post just like this. Hey, I'm an active cash buyer new to this group. I'm looking to connect with active wholesalers and build a relationship. Please put your name, number, and email below so we can connect. And I would go post something just like this. Now, what you're doing versus what most people do when they join these Facebook groups, they say, hey, I'm an active cash buyer. Here's my email. And they'll post their email address like roham@futureflipper.com and just say, please send me deals, right? And then just hope whoever on here finds them and adds them magically to their buyers list. And like that works. Does it work well? Probably not, because at the end of the day, when you do it like that, they don't know you, they don't trust you. They're not going to send you their smoking hot deals because they're scared someone might just call the seller, offer them a little bit more and steal the deal from them. So what I recommend personally is instead asking just like this, hey, I'm an active cash buyer new to this group. I'm looking to connect with active wholesalers. And the key here is build a relationship. Please put your name, number, and email below so we can connect. Then they're going to start commenting on your post saying, hey, here's my name, number, email. And then I would just start calling them, right? Call them all. And then once you've called them all and actually talked to them, add them to an Excel sheet. And so go to a Google Drive. I would make a new Excel sheet, call it your wholesaler list. And then you're going to have their name, their number, what market they're in, how many deals they've done, notes, and then you're going to call them once a week. So if today is May 2nd, I'm going to go call all the wholesalers I get. I'm going to add them. Oh, and their email. Don't forget their email. And basically, I'm going to go call my wholesaler, say, hey, Mr. Wholesaler, how's it going? It's Roham. I saw my post in Facebook and you commented on it. Do you have any deals that you're actively wholesaling right now? Do you have a deal? Oh, great. Can you send me the info so I can look it up and see if I make an offer on it? Okay, great. You don't have a deal right now. Do you have any deals coming up that you might be interested in selling? Do you have any deals that are coming up that you need help with, that you think could close, but you have a situation that you've just never been in before? I have a lot of mentors and stuff that could probably help us through any situations that are sticky, right? Do you have any deals that you might want to partner up on? Have you been looking to flip a house and you just haven't been able to yet because you don't have the capital or contractors? Well, I can bring that if you bring me a deal, right? And then lastly, ask them, hey, how's everything going on at home? How's the wife, kids, the dog, the family? Like really build a relationship with these guys, get to know them. And then what happens is you call them once a week, right? And you put in here in your notes, like talk to Johnny. He just sold the deal, but has one coming up next week. And then call Johnny next week and say, hey, Johnny, what happened with that one deal you were telling me about last week? Right? And then he's going to be like, oh, dude, actually that one fell through. But you know what? I have another good deal that I'm gearing up. And because you've been calling me and building this relationship with me, I'm kind of trying to save this one for you. So I think this one would really fit what you're looking for. Here's the address. Tell me what you think. Right? And so that's your goal, is to call these wholesalers enough times once a week till they start saying, hey, I actually got a deal for you. Like, I think this one would work. And so if you start building that relationship with them, that's how you're going to start seeing a lot better deals. Most people complain. They're like, oh, wholesalers don't have good deals. I join these Facebook groups and these guys say they'll send me deals and all the deals they send me are garbage. And it's like, yes and no, they're kind of garbage, but they're also kind of not. The reason I say that is, one, there's a lot of people who buy deals from wholesalers that don't use hard money lenders. They have all the money themselves, and so they don't have any interest or points that they have to pay. So they can pay more than we can. There's also people who do all the construction themselves. So if you were to flip a house and you hire a general contractor and sub everything out, there are people who don't do that. It's them, their mom, their grandma, and their two kids going in there hammering and redoing all the stuff themselves. And so they can pay more than you can. Also, you have rent to hold buyers, right? And so these are people who are buying these as rentals. And right now, if they go on the MLS and with a real estate agent, they see everything's overpriced, or, you know, any properties that are listed, people are paying over for, you know, asking prices right now to get properties. Well, if they can go buy from a wholesaler and still just get like 10, 20K off of whatever the ARV would be, for them, that's a great deal because they're not about to sell it right away. For us, that's not a deal because our closing costs would eat us up and make us lose money because we bought it and sold it without enough profit, right? So we have to just understand that these wholesalers, they're not only selling to flippers, they're selling to other flippers that can pay more. They're selling to other hedge funds. They're selling to rent and hold buyers. And so we're competing to get in front of these wholesalers, right? Now, personally, I recommend how many wholesalers can you typically follow up with weekly and keep everything organized? 20, 50 or more. I realistically think you only need 10 to 20. I think 10 to 20 wholesalers per market's good, and constantly look for new ones to add, because here's what happens, guys. A lot of guys try to look and work with like the big wholesaler, right? Keegley, New Western. There's a few other of these big name ones. And those ones are usually ones that have built up their buyers list so big that they mainly deal with these rent and hold buyers and these higher end buyers and hedge funds, that it's hard to compete with them. What you guys are really looking for is other students just like you, people who are just getting started, just getting their first wholesale deal, right? And these are the best, because if I find a brand new wholesaler who finds his first deal, and for him, he's for example, a 20-year-old kid working a part-time job, he's just excited to make like $1,000, you know what I mean? And be able to quit his job. Like for him, $1,000 would be like revolutionary. Well, for that kid, if I go buy that deal from him, I can go make most of the profit now, because he won't have the sense to know like how much you as a flipper will probably make on that deal. And so the best deals are usually from newer wholesalers and their first few deals, because they don't know the ARVs correctly and they're not asking as much as they should, where you could find a deal that potentially that wholesaler could have made like 100K, but really because it was his first check, he only asked for 5. Right. And so those are the best deals when you're working with brand new wholesalers who still don't quite know what they're doing yet. They found a deal. They just want to make some money. They're super excited about it, but they have no idea how much you're about to make on it. Right. If you guys look for those guys, the brand new other students that are just joining, just getting their first deals, those are the best wholesale deals by far. When you deal with the bigger guys like Ryan and Keegley and these guys, they've just built up their wholesaler buyers list so well that it's hard to compete with the buyers that they have. Right. And so for me personally, I recommend trying to find new ones regularly. And honestly, when it comes to how many wholesalers can you keep up with weekly, like here's the thing, you're just building yourself up. After a while, you might not check with these guys weekly. You might do it once a month. But if you go to that pace, you'll probably want like 100 wholesalers. For 10 to 20, it's good to call them weekly because it's a small amount. Once you start adding to that list and getting it bigger and bigger, then slow it down. Do once every 2 weeks, once every month, once you have 50 to 100. Right. And so that's my recommendation there. And then have a list just like this on Excel that you can track, have all their info on, and call them once a week and make sure that you talk to them and have notes from what you talked about last time and all that good stuff. Because that's one of the easiest ways to get deals. My personal opinion, if you go get on the right wholesalers list, you can find a deal tomorrow if it makes sense, right? And buy that thing. So it doesn't take any skills to go learn how to market or do anything like that. You just need an email address for them to send you deals and be a nice person on the phone that, you know, they want to send deals to. So that's wholesaling. Now, the second way for finding deals that I recommend is the MLS. I think the MLS is one of the most underutilized marketing methods for real estate investors, which doesn't really make sense because that's where like we're supposed to buy deals. But to be honest, most investors don't know how to use it, don't use it in general, or don't maximize the use of it. So cool. Let's teach you guys a little bit about MLS. Does anyone have questions on wholesalers before we switch topics? If you do, just drop it in the chat. But now that we're diving into wholesalers or MLS, I'll share my screen and show you guys exactly what I would recommend. So there's 3 types of MLS searches, right? The first type of MLS search is the one that you could find in Ryan's book, Flip Your Future. It's in the Future Flipper files if you haven't read it yet. But that is called the price per square foot method. And so I'll show you guys a brief example of what the price per square foot method looks like. And essentially, it doesn't work super well right now in a super hot seller's market. And also, it's not the most effective in Las Vegas. But for example, I'll show you guys on a big picture and a small picture what it kind of looks like, right? So for example, in Vegas, we recommend doing it by zip code because then you can get some more accurate results. And so what you want to do is look up what has sold in the last 90 days for single family in a certain zip code, right? So for example, I'm doing 89138 and I just want to see what's sold. Now I'm going to go to the results and I am going to sort my results by price per square foot. So if price per square foot is not on here on your MLS already, one, you can go here, insert a column, and try to see if you can add it. And so if you just type like square foot, you'll see it has list price divided by square foot, right? And so if it has PP, that's purchase price divided by sale square foot. And so you want to add that price per square foot search, then click apply, and then I'll add it there. Some MLSs don't allow you to search by price per square foot. So if it's not there, then unfortunately you can't use this method, but some of the other methods will still work for you. So now what I would do is go down 5 properties. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I see that most of the properties that have sold for under $245 or over $245 a square foot for that zip code. So now what I would do is go back to criteria. And instead of looking for sold, I just want to look at active. And then I want to go to the bottom, and in additional fields, if it's not there already, you would just add it, but it would be price divided by square foot. But for me, it's already on there, price divided by square foot. And so then I want to see, are there any homes right now in the 89138 zip code that are just single family that are less than the $245 a square foot that we saw, right? And then it says there are 2. So these 2 should be potential deals. It's not always that way, but there's usually different indicators that can help us, right? So one, we can see that this is like coriander countertops. So that's builder grade material. So they've probably made some minor upgrades to this house, but it probably seems that some of the stuff like these kitchen cabinet, faucets, even that light fixture, that was when they first built the home, right? Also, this home's been listed 298 days. This has been on market for 300 days. So I'd still make an offer on this property because they haven't sold in almost a year. It's like, hey, something's wrong. There's a reason they haven't sold yet. And so maybe they'll take a lower price. Purdy Lodge. Look, this is a potential flip, right? Like it's not super nice. There's nothing crazy going on with it. The carpet is old and could definitely be redone. And so this is just a good search that you can use to find properties, but to be honest, it's not my favorite. It gets worse as the market gets hotter, unfortunately. The other 2 searches I have, I recommend more, but I wanted to at least cover this because it's the first thing covered in Ryan's book. But essentially now what I would do if I wanted to save the search is I go to the bottom, save, create a new auto email, create myself as a contact if I haven't yet. So put my name, number, and then I recommend have a separate email that you create for people to send deals to, right? And so for mine, it would be like Roham at Home Run Offer. But if I wanted to, I already have that. So it's right here, Roham HRO. Then for the subject, it's important to put the subject line. So 89138, price per square foot, single family, right? And then at the bottom where it says schedule, you want to click ASAP. So that way, if a property is listed that's under $245 a square foot, I want to get an email about it right away. And then if I save this search, now I'm going to get an email that says, hey, here are 2 potential deals that fit what you want. You have to click on that email and click on that link, and then it will start sending those automatic emails. If you don't click on that initial link in the first email, it won't send you automated emails because it doesn't know if you really want them yet. So you have to click on the link at least once. So right now, if I click save, I'll get an email. I click the link, and then it'll start sending me more automated emails once more deals pop up that match what we were looking for. Does anyone have questions on the price per square foot search? Where is the best place to find wholesalers? Social media. So yeah, I recommend joining Facebook groups. If you rewatch the call, I broke down like how to go find a bunch of these Facebook groups, but basically just go to Facebook, type your city. So say you're in Atlanta real estate investors. And then just go join whatever Atlanta real estate investors group, join that group. Atlanta real estate investors club, go join that. Right, and then Atlanta real estate wholesalers. Wholesalers Alliance for Atlanta, right? And so like whatever city or state you're in, you could just type and Google on Facebook and find some Facebook groups like that. Go join them and post the template post that I wrote up earlier. Any questions on the price per square foot search or wholesalers before we move forward?
Appreciate that.
No problem. Okay, cool. So now the two other MLS searches that I like better than the price per square foot method. So the first one, keywords. Keywords are my favorite kind of searches. To be honest, I think if you're good enough at coming up with these keywords, you're never going to miss a deal. Like, to be honest, you will never miss a deal if you are good at keywords. So first, you want to go to your map. So the difference is I'm no longer searching by zip code. So now if I don't want to see deals in like Mount Charleston, Pahrump, these like areas that are just outside of Vegas or like Moapa Valley, like, you know, I'm not trying to drive 3-4 hours to go do deals. I just want to see deals in Vegas. So first I'm going to draw a big circle around the city of Las Vegas. So that way I'm only seeing deals within Las Vegas in that 18-mile radius or whatever. So what I want to do is go to criteria, look at active homes, because I just want to see what's for sale. And what I want to do is I can actually do all of these types of properties. So if I wanted to do a condo, single family and a townhouse, I could do all those and just do it all under a keyword search. And so now let's show you guys what keywords are. Here, let's find a property. Sure. 4770 Topaz. So when you have a listing on the MLS, there's two sections that have a lot of text, right? And those two sections are the public remarks, which is what agents are going to write a description of the home about. And so basically like this one, awesome 2-story townhouse with loft style master bedroom, upstairs separate from the living area, new flooring and paint throughout, upgraded cabinets, lots of storage space, won't last long, great location. These are the types of things that we want the public to know about the home so they could be interested in buying the property, right?
MLS को बारे में ठीक है सर
Yeah, MLS Samsung Access राम्रो भयो
ज्वरो आसे भयो भने मलाई
Muted.
MLS सिकाएर दादा
ज्वरो आसे भयो भने
There we go. And then you have the agent to agent remarks. The agent to agent remarks are what agents want other agents to know about the property. So these are the two kinds of places that I look. For keywords, single family townhouse and condo can be in the same search. Yes, they can be. When you're doing keyword searches, you can search all the same type of properties. When we're searching on price per square foot, the reason we don't do the same, if you were doing price per square foot for a zip code, you would go look at like single family for one zip code, then you would do it again for townhomes, then you do it again for condos. The reason is a single family house will not convey or compare to a condo, right? A house in Vegas, if it's 1,000 square feet, might be like 250 to 350K, where a condo in Vegas at 1,000 square feet is probably closer to like 100 to 250, right? And so I can't really go compare those things. But if I'm searching for keywords, I'm looking specifically for properties that have specific words that investor would be interested on the property for, right? And so, for example, one of my favorite keywords is TLC. TLC stands for tender love and care. It's another fancy way of saying needs work. The home needs work, right? And so if I were to go down here, if you don't have it already in your search, public remarks or agent to agent remarks, you can go to the bottom of the MLS, go to additional fields, add, and then you would just type public remarks and then make sure it's added, right? So add that. Public remarks is not added because it's already out there. So now at the bottom, let's say I want to go ahead and do TLC. So if I type TLC in the public remarks, it gives me 0 results. Why is that? I don't know. But I know for some reason, when you put an asterisk before and after the word, it works. Why? Couldn't tell you, but I can tell you most people don't know how to do the keyword search because they didn't know to put that asterisk before or after. So that's why personally, I think this is the best method because literally no one knows to put this little stupid star.
Do you have to use that asterisk? Oh, sorry.
No, what were you asking?
I was just saying, do you have to use that asterisk every time for the keyword search? Like
personally, yes, because watch right now,
Okay.
right? So right now I have 25 matches when I did TLC with
Right.
asterisk before and after. If I get rid of the asterisk
Right.
before and after and just put TLC, now I have 0 matches.
Yeah, it's super crazy.
Why? I could
Yeah, because
not
I've done
tell
it I've done it with and without.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes I'll get results with it, and sometimes I'll get it with and without it. It's super weird.
Personally, I think it's always safer to put it with it because you'll never
No,
miss.
no, for sure.
Yeah, you'll never miss
For
one.
sure.
'Cause for some reason, the asterisk, it's like it's saying anything can be before or after the word TLC. It doesn't matter. Just always put the asterisk.
Perfect.
before.
No, agreed.
And then
Appreciate that.
two, something else that a lot of people miss, right? So if I just did TLC and did public remarks, I get 25 matches, right? But also, if I go to agent remarks, so this would be a separate search, because remember, if you guys did these on the same search, how many searches are going to have TLC in both the agent to agent and public remarks? Probably none. So let's check. 3, okay? But if I just do one by one, I get 12 searches or 12 matches with agent to agent and 25 with public remarks. So every keyword you have should have one search for agent remarks, one search for public remarks. Okay.
Okay, so you should do a setup searches for each column.
Each keyword, correct.
Perfect.
And the nice thing is you don't need to do it by property type. So you can just group them all together. It doesn't matter if it's a single story or 2-story house. When it's the keyword TLC and it needs work, that's just an
Right.
indicator that the home is obviously like not in great condition. So it doesn't matter in our search. We can put all of our keywords together for all the other factors. So size, type of property, price, square footage, all that stuff doesn't matter with keyword searches. And then the nice thing is we
Perfect.
ideally get properties that are one just like this one, right? Where it's like, hey, they just had a huge price increase because they're probably getting blown up with the offers. And so, you know, they usually don't have a lot of pictures, but these are the kind of properties that we want to call, right? And then my other favorite thing about doing the keyword searches, when you do them, you get other keywords. So like when I search this stuff, right? Sold as is condition. Well, as is a great keyword, right? Let's see. Property is investor owned. Investor is a great keyword.
Yeah, because I've already
Inoperable.
found.
I've never thought of
found
inoperable, but that's probably a great keyword.
Right.
TLC, right there is the one that we were originally finding this one offer. Cash offers,
Right.
right? And so like, that's the cool thing about this. You get to add to your list while building your list. And if you go create enough keyword searches, and ideally what you want is properties just like this one, where you get an email 5 times about this one property because it says cash offer, it says TLC, it says never lived in before, it says sold as is. Like when you have a property that has like 4 or 5 keywords on it, you're like, dude, this has got to be a deal. You know what I mean?
So when you're
Roham,
doing the searches, should I just do all? Oh, sorry.
And you can, Rohan, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
You can forward that to like your email, right? Say if you're, because I obviously I'm not a licensed agent, but I do work with agents. You can have them pretty much have it automated to your
Correct.
email.
Yep. So what I would do if I wanted to, or if I had an agent who could help me do this, because I don't have MLS access yet, tell them exactly what you were doing here. Hey, I want to create a keyword search for agent to agent and public remarks. Can we hop on a Zoom call and I can walk you through it, right? And then just walk them through what I'm showing you right now. So go to criteria, make sure it's an active home, make sure what type of property, make sure to add public remarks and agent to agent remarks if they're not there. And sometimes, just heads up guys, depending what city and state you're in, they might not call it the same thing, agent to agent or public remarks. It might be referred to as something else. So if you just go look at a listing, it always looks just like this, where it's the directions and then the public remarks and the agent to agent remarks. So sometimes they just call it something different. It's like I don't even know, but sometimes it's different. So just go look and see what it says right here. It's like, okay, that's what I want. It's not public remarks, it's open announcements or something weird, but just so you guys have a heads up there. And then basically set up the search. And then once you have the search that you want, like TLC, click save, new auto email, add yourself as a contact. So your name, your last name, your email address, and then basically it's going to send you this welcome email. Like I said, the welcome email is going to have a link with any listings that currently have TLC in it, right? And for the subject, I would always put my keyword so that way it saves it. So I would put TLC agent to agent remarks.
I think
and then the most important thing, make sure you click ASAP. So that way, as soon as another property is listed with TLC, I get an email about it. And then I click save.
And what is that agent to agent remark that you're talking about? What is that?
So agent to agent
Only
remarks,
agent.
I'll show you here again. For example, right here on a listing, whenever you have a listing, there's two different sections with a lot of text. One is for the public. So price to sell, that's a good one. That's a good keyword right there. Write that one down. Public remarks is what they want everyone to know. So if you were to go on Redfin or Zillow and the home is listed, you'll see these little descriptions like manufactured home, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, stainless steel appliances, large open concept, wood stove, all electric. Like it's just what they want people to know about the home. The agent to agent remarks is not public information. It's just what an agent wants other agents to know, right? And so for example, all measurements to be verified by the buyer and the buyer's agent. Home is not converted to real property, being sold as is, right? And so they don't want everyone to know it's sold as is. They just want the agents that are showing the house to give them heads up and say, hey, this home is being sold as is, right? And so agent to agent remarks are the private notes just for other agents to see.
That is beautiful. I'm actually meeting up with an agent tomorrow, so that's so convenient to learn right now.
And then this will be uploaded so you guys can show them this video and be like, hey, this is exactly what I want to do, right? And so you can walk them through this video, show them the recording and say, hey, I want to set up a keyword search for TLC, for investor, for cash only, for motivated seller. And then here, I'll show you guys a few of my favorite keywords while we're on this topic. So
Sorry, Roham.
needs work. Oh, someone else had a question?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, sorry, I just saw the chat.
Yeah, Roham, with the keywords, you know, where you saw on the one, there was multiple different keywords in the description, the agent to agent or public remarks. I'm wondering, do you end up getting multiple? It's like
you will get multiple emails, yes, but you want that because when you get those emails, when I get like 5 emails about one property, that
Yeah.
means it's very much likely a deal, right? Because if it just has TLC, okay, the home needs a little work, but it has TLC, motivated seller, cash, sold as is, like all these things, it's like, hey, that's for sure more than likely a deal. So
okay,
you want having those multiple indicators.
okay.
Roham.
Yeah.
Can I do like multiple keywords at once?
I've tried. I haven't had great results with it. So like, for example, what he's saying is like, if you did agent to agent remarks, right? TLC, and then you did one like, motivated.
Can you put a comma between them? Or does it work?
I don't know. I've tried in different ways and it's worked
Because,
for me before.
because
Oh, there
mine
you
just
go.
work. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys do a comma and then do asterisk, because you can just have like one search. You don't even need multiple, or well, you need 2. You need one for agent to agent remarks and one for public remarks. But you could basically just go here, do a search just like this. And it's just important that you guys do it correctly. So asterisk, the word, asterisk, comma, space, asterisk, the next word, asterisk, comma, space, the next word, right? So TLC, motivated. What's another good one someone's got?
Yeah, because that's the guy on the Brian call.
Sure.
He's a guest and he gave us like a bunch of keyword.
Oh, love
And
it. So then,
I just space it.
you just go do that and space them out.
Copy and
just like
paste,
I'm
yeah.
doing. Now you're going to have a great search that's just sending you very likely like good results, right? And so like, again, these are keywords, guys. Like people still price stuff incorrectly. People still make mistakes. People still, you know, like not everything you see on a keyword search is for sure going to be a deal. It's just more likely a deal than everything else listed on the MLS, right? So have one for agent to agent remarks, and then you do another search for public remarks, and then you can just add whatever keywords that you can think of. And then the last MLS search that I like, if anyone else has questions on keywords, oh, some of the other favorite ones that I like. So just so you guys have those, needs work. That's a good one. Motivated seller, or just motivated is a good one. I think motivated is probably my favorite one. that most people don't think about. And then again, what I recommend is like when you do these searches, go look at the listings and try to come up with other keywords, right? Someone is very motivated. Entertain all reasonable offers, right? It's like whatever I can come up with that I think someone else might put on a potential good deal. That's what I'm looking for. So home is being sold as is, cash only, buyer owned structure only, not the land. Easy to show, motivated seller, right? And like those are some of the best. So next, my other favorite kind of search is one that Brian Davila recently taught me, and it just makes a lot of sense. So for me personally, what I would do is this one, you would probably have to go more property specific again, because it's based off pricing. And so I would want to look at single family here in Las Vegas. Make sure you go draw your big circle around Las Vegas whenever it has to do with price, or else you're going to get deals in like the middle of nowhere. And then essentially just go look and see what the market's listing properties at, right? Go by price. And so I see everything in Vegas for single family homes at the lowest, our single family is 220, right? So ideally, I just want a search that's like same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything that gets listed below 255, I should probably just get an email about it. And like, let's look at the 5 cheapest listings in Las Vegas. Let's see if there are potential deals. Well, this one is kind of tough because I think this is the one that can't be converted to real land. Yeah, it was built in 1975. So good thing to know about mobile homes, right? When you're flipping mobile homes, there's 2 things to know. One, when was it built? If it was built prior to 1976, it's a bad deal. Don't buy it. So if it was built 1975, 1974, 1973, do not buy that deal. You only want to buy a potential mobile if it was built after 1976. Why? Because after 1976, then that property can be converted to real property, right? And so it might just be considered a mobile home, but if you can convert it to a single family home, then that property could be worth a lot more, right? You can't typically do that if it's built prior to 1975. And also the other big reason we do that is because say I flip a mobile home. If I flip a mobile home that was built prior and I put it on the market, the only people who can buy it are cash buyers. They cannot get an FHA or conventional loan on a mobile home. Now, if I converted that mobile home to single family property, to real property, now they're able to finance that home. And when you're selling a mobile or selling any flip in general, you want as many buyers to potentially be able to buy that home as possible. And most buyers are not cash buyers, they're traditional FHA or conventional buyers. So very good note on mobile homes if you're thinking about that.
So Roham,
Yes.
recently I have a list that he said that he have a mobile home on a permanent foundation. So what is this? Like it's on a concrete foundation or something like that.
When was the mobile home built?
I don't remember. Let me check.
Yeah, so like if you just Google the mobile home, pull it up on Redfin, it'll say year built. Just make sure it's after 1976. Because here's the thing, to convert it to real property, all they really do is like pour concrete under it. And so then it's just stuck to the ground, right? And then realistically, they tell the title companies and like the local county assessor, recorder, I forget who it is, but like they tell the state, hey, this is real property now, right? So like at the end of the day, someone could just pour concrete under any mobile home, but it has to meet the requirements of the state to become real property, right? And so just because it is concreted in doesn't mean it can be converted to real property. And so that's where it's like, it just
I think
depends.
it's
you know.
1998.
Oh, there you go, 1998. So then, yeah, that could potentially be a good deal. Something else I recommend too, we've only had success in Las Vegas. So again, this is a specific just Las Vegas thing that I think with flipping mobile homes that are double wides, right? And so like, if you look at this mobile home, you can usually tell this is a double wide mobile home, right? And so like a single wide, imagine like half of this mobile home is basically a single wide. When you have one that's like this big, it's a double wide, so they combine 2 together. Typically, we won't do a deal unless it's a double wide. If it's a single wide, we typically haven't had good results with them, but that's just some more of our experiences. But yeah, for this search, I would just have a search for anything under 255K in Las Vegas. And if anything under that pops up, I want to get an email about it, right? So if someone lists a home for like $160,000 in Las Vegas, it's probably potentially a deal. So I just want to see those deals too. Now, does that mean these are all deals? No, like we're looking at these right now. Like one of them's an office. This one could potentially be a deal. I'd make an offer on this. Whoever's in Vegas, go hit up 36243 bars. Just run your ARV and stuff, make sure everything looks good. But these are like the dated homes that we are kind of going after, especially when you have one that's listed like 145 days on market. It can never hurt to just throw out an offer. So those are my 3 favorite searches. Now we're going to go through the last things pretty quickly here. So for money, right? Say now you have these ways of finding deals. You have an agent that set up some auto searches. He's sending you deals. You have wholesalers that you found and they're sending you deals. Now the next step is being able to buy the deals, right? So first off, most people don't have enough money to go flip a house by themselves. Most of your friends and family with money that you think are wealthy or rich, they probably don't have most of that money sitting in the bank, right? Most of that money is invested in a ton of other things. And so that's where hard money lenders come into play. If you need a hard money lender, I would recommend either A, going to this document that I'm going to put in the chat for everyone right now. It's a document with a bunch of hard money lenders that we use and our students have used and had good experiences with. And then 2, we have an all-star student. His name is Jesse Nguyen, and he is a hard money lender, and he is very friendly towards new investors. And so if you want, you can hit up Jesse. Make sure you tell him Roham sent you his way, and he is my personal hard money lender. So if you guys need hard money, hit up Jesse Nguyen. That's his phone number. Tell him you're in the rookie program, and you can get the special future flipper rate, and make sure to mention Roham referred you. Now, for the private money, he is comfortable with you guys having second position lien holders. So this is where your friends and family come into play. Let's say I find a deal and the hard money lender is going to give me 90% of the purchase price. So let's say the deal is $300,000. Hard money lender Jesse is going to give me $270K because 10% of 300 is 30. So he's giving me 270. So I still need 30K to buy that deal. And I'm probably going to need some money for the rehab and probably a few bucks for the monthly payments and stuff to help me out. So that's where I'm going to go call up my uncles, my friends, my family. If you're a real estate agent, past listing clients, people who you helped sell their home and make a lot of money, they're probably sitting that money in the bank, just waiting to do something with it. So they might as well invest it with you, right? And I would hit them all up and tell them, hey, I would like to, oh, Lisa, you're a hard money lender?
Well, I'm new and I'm trying to figure out how I evaluate, but yes, that's what I would like to start doing for sure. I'm
Okay.
looking for information about how to evaluate though, because I've already talked to a few people. So obviously that's not this call, but maybe there's another
Gotcha.
one.
Another one, but yeah, hit me up. I could probably help you connect with a few people. So yeah, then next big thing, getting a private money lender and your hard money lender. So private money lender, hey dude, I need 50K to come flip this house. If you have 50K, we can go flip this house, make X. If we can make X, whatever I got to do to get the deal done, I'm going to do, especially if it's my first deal. So if I got to go 50-50 with this guy and I'm going to do all the work, but he's going to bring the money, I'll go 50-50. Dude, I'll go 90-10 and give him all the money as long as it's in my name and I can make some profit and just get the experience under my belt, at least on your first deal. Because then once you have that first one, you can go and use that and leverage that deal to get you better rates, better private money lenders, other people to help you. Because then you could say, hey, look, my private money lender screwed me on my first deal. I made us 50K and he took 45 of it. But I just wanted to prove to people that I could make money doing deals, right? Do you need an LLC for hard money? Yes. If you don't have one already, book a call with Prime Corporate Services. If you don't know who they are, just click the link I'm about to put in the chat, book a call, they'll help you set up your LLC. Perfect. You need an LLC to get a hard money loan. That's just how it goes. Cool. So for the money, private money, hard money, Jesse, other lenders. If you need private money, try to go to other students in the student program and the student directory and stuff. So here's the link for Prime if anyone else needs to get their LLC. And then here's the student directory. So if you don't know a single person who could potentially be a private money lender, I would go hit up some other students. And I'm sure that we have students in the program that would be happy to partner up with students that are willing to put in some work and hustle and bring deals. Cool. Lastly, contractors. So now you've got your first deals. You've got some money to go buy the deals. Now you need someone to actually go fix up the deal. Our recommendation, find a general contractor. Try to find at least 2 to 3 general contractors. What I recommend personally, if you don't know any general contractors, try to go find some right now and find some that are going to be willing to come walk through your house, your personal residence, whether you own it or rent it, it doesn't matter, right? But this is a great chance for you to pick their brain on, hey, if I wanted to redo this kitchen, redo the cabinets, the countertops, redo everything, how much would that cost? How much is the labor? How much is the materials, right? And go through every single part of your house with the contractor and learn what it costs for your market. That's going to help you with making offers and understanding what rehab costs are. And then in that time, when they're walking through your properties and potentially telling you how much it would cost to upgrade them, tell them, hey, I'm an investor. I'm looking to fix and flip homes. Would you be willing to do work like this on my house, but also on a lot of other projects? And if we did it at scale, would you give me a good price, right? Find contractors from just calling some up online and like Google Las Vegas general contractors. I'm sure you can find a ton that way. 2, the other recommendations that I have personally for finding them is dumpster driving. So if you are driving around a neighborhood and you see a big blue dumpster outside someone's house, and usually it's full of dirt and stuff from the backyard because they're working on it, pull over, go knock on the door, say, hi, I'm a real estate investor. I see you're working on your house. Can I come see your work? Right? And just go take a peek through, see if they're doing a good job, if they're keeping the area clean, if they're drinking or smoking, or if they actually look like they're busy working. Right? And so like, go and like look for these things, because that's going to be a good indication for how they treat your projects, right? And then go walk the property, say, hey, I'm an investor. I need some work done on a few houses. Are you guys looking for more work? Great. Get their number, call them up and tell them you got some projects. 2, referrals, right? So go post on Facebook. Hey, I'm looking for general contractors. Most people have a uncle or cousin or brother or someone that they know that does something, right? And so you can find a ton just on asking on Facebook and Instagram for friends and family referrals. And usually the referrals you get from friends and family aren't going to screw you, because then you can call your cousin and be like, yo, Romeo's fucking up. So I need you to call your boy, because you referred him to me, and get his shit straight, because I'm not paying him until he fixes what he did to my house, right? And so like, at least with referrals, you get to leverage that a little bit. And then lastly, if referrals don't work and you can't find any blue dumpsters outside of people's house, go to Home Depot like an hour before they open and just go there with some business cards and say, hey, I'm an investor. I'm looking for general contractors, and pass out cards, right? Now, that's like the front stuff. That's the stuff you got to do to just get started, okay? What you really need to do to succeed is this. Make 5 to 10 offers every single day, Monday through Friday, right? 5 to 10 offers every single day, Monday through Friday. So that's on the wholesaler deals, on the MLS deals, but 5 to 10 offers per day will get you results. If you're not currently tracking how many offers you're making, start tracking them. If you haven't gotten your first deal yet, it's probably because you're not tracking them and you're not making enough offers. It's realistically what it boils down to. When you look at it from a big picture, that's it. If you're not making enough offers, you're not going to get enough chances. And so that's what it really comes down to. So this call plus the flipping and wholesaling course that we provided with the paperwork and stuff should literally be all you would need to get your first deal. Like, that's my personal goal, is to make it as simple for you guys, make the watching and education as reduced as possible for you to get your first deal. So between this call and the flipping and wholesaling course, where Ryan breaks down all the contracts, how to use the deal calculator, all the different processes in flipping and wholesaling, you should be able to find your first flip and make some money. We'll stay on for an extra 5-10 minutes for questions.
Roham, a question. This is probably out the blue, but have you ever made an offer to a wholesaler and they tell you to fuck off?
Of course, I've made offers on a million things that people told me to fuck off. Like, an offer is an offer. It's never going to hurt. You know what I mean? And like, just because the wholesaler wants $200,000 for the property doesn't mean I have to offer him 200,000 or more. It's just like any other listing on the market. It's, hey, just because you're asking for that doesn't mean you're going to get it, right? And so, hey, here's where I'm at. Can I get the deal? No, no worries. Fuck me. Okay, life's still great. I'm good. Let's move on. Go for the next one. 5 to 10 offers a day. Don't let one slow you down. Lou?
Hey Roham.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Where can I rewatch the call?
It's going to be uploaded plus my past calls. I had some issues with Zoom and like where my recordings were going. So all of my calls will be added by tomorrow. And then every rookie call we have will always be added the next day. So whatever day after the call, we'll be adding it to the playlist and rookie school for you guys to go back and rewatch. So all of my calls will be available for rewatch tomorrow.
Is it gonna be the same on the same playlist with the with Brian's call, or it's gonna be separate?
So if you go to like school, under school, we have, here, let me show you. So if you guys go to school, under school, you have the classroom section. In the classroom, it'd be under rookie Zoom call recordings. Then they'll be added around here, the very bottom with the more recent calls.
Right. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions we got? I think Lou has a question.
So Roham, quick question is with batch leads, are you able to set it like for like, cause there, we only have 2 people, we're just starting out, right? So would, do you know for batch leads, are you able to set it for like a low amount? So it's, cause if they give too many, then like we can't possibly do them in 1 week if it's just us 2, right?
What do you mean set a lower amount?
Like does batch leads, I thought there was something like for a certain amount, you got 10,000 leads or 25.
Oh, yeah. It's like 10,000 records per month. My personal
month.
advice, yeah, it's per month. So you get to pull 10,000 records per month with batch and
Okay.
minimum plan. Personally, I would still go pull all 10,000 every month, even if I don't skip trace them all every month. Get what I'm saying? So what I would do is like personally, I would go build up. So in this year, if I pay for batch, I should have 120,000 records of homeowners, but I might only skip trace a portion of them because I just have too many leads to work myself, right? But I've already pulled those people and I can skip trace them now anywhere. I have those lists. I own that data. Now I just need to get it skip traced. So personally, always go and take your 10,000 records every first of the month from batch, but only skip trace as many as you're able to market to, right? So like if I'm cold calling, texting and doing all this stuff and I can only market to like a few thousand people per month, let's call it like 3, I'm only going to skip trace 3,000 people from that 10,000 person list until I go through it 2-3 times. But then eventually you could just rinse and repeat and start going through your old data and then also stack your list and do a lot of other cool things. But personally, yeah, I would just say, hey, every month at least go pull those 10,000 records. You already paid for it. So you might as well go get those lists of data. And then from there, figure out what you want to do. If you actually want to market to all of them or not, or pay for all that skip tracing or not.
Okay, thank you.
Any is batch leads good to use for list pulling and skip tracing? How accurate is it? Dude, I wish I had like a perfect answer for you and could just tell you, bro, it's like 87% accurate. It's the best, right? Like, I don't know, like genuinely we don't. And like what I think it is that it's different based on your market. Cause like what a lot of these skip tracing guys do and like these websites do is they're just pulling information from like Clark County records, from state records, right? And so they go and like find all this random information from all over the place. They get it from like the DMV, they get it from like the mortgage companies, they get it from just anywhere online that they can possibly collect this information. And so like, here's the thing, I don't think any of them are extremely accurate. I haven't found one skip tracing thing where it's like, if I pull a list of 10 people, all 10 people, it's got just their one phone number. How these things are mostly accurate is that they go tell you, hey, for this one person, here are 10 phone numbers that could possibly be theirs, right? One of those phone numbers is probably theirs. Do you know which of the 10? Probably not, right? But if you go call all of them, you're probably going to find that person eventually, right? And so that's how most skip tracing works and is done. Is there a most accurate one out there? I don't know. Is there a best one? I don't know. I just know, like, personally, the best one that I know of is called TLO skip tracing, but it's kind of expensive and doesn't really make sense for us as investors when we try to go and pull a big list of thousands of people. It's usually better for like private investigators who are doing one-off searches. They're looking for just one person, right? And so like, if I was doing driving for dollars, TLO is probably the best. If I'm going to cold call and skip trace and do direct to seller marketing where I'm going to be hitting people in the thousands, well, dude, like, who cares if batch is like 80% accurate and prop stream is like 78%? If I'm doing it at scale, like it's going to be a minuscule difference. You know what I mean? So like every month, if I'm cold calling 10,000 people and one is like 3% better than the other one, is that 3% really going to get me a deal or not? Probably not. Like my sales skills alone are going to be the difference maker than that 3% of accuracy with your skip tracing service, if that makes sense. I hope that answers your question. Cool. But yeah, me personally, dude, I just recommend, like, if you are going to do the cold calling, skip tracing, batch lead stuff, batch leads is good. It just, they're all in one platform is so user friendly that like anyone can start cold calling and texting now, right? Where like before batch, we had like 8 different websites just to cold call and text, right? It's like now batch is nice where you can do it all in one place. Eventually you guys might say, hey, I want to go all in with cold calling and texting. Then you go get a better, more powerful like dialer or a more powerful texting platform. But you can still use batch to like pull the 10,000 records per month. You might find a better skip tracer, right? And so like if you do find that guy, well, cool, still go get your 10,000 records from batch, but then give it to the skip tracing guy and then have him pay him for the skip tracing part, right? And so like batch is nice just because they're all in one. You can stack your data there. It's just nice for that part of it. And then eventually you decide, hey, we're going to invest in our marketing and like double down or triple down on something. Then you can really ramp it up with like some of the more powerful platforms and services that are out there. But those are usually more expensive. So batch is just nice for people who are just getting started. But even then, I didn't even recommend batch for this call. Like the whole topic of this call was, hey, doing a deal for free without having to spend any money. Wholesalers, MLS, that should be your focus personally if you're just getting started. Cool. Any other last questions before we wrap things up?
Yeah, Rohan,
I have one question.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I got when you make an offer, say for example, on say with an agent, do you always need a proof of funds, like say hard money, like every single
Great
property that
question.
you want to make an offer on? Do you have to like obviously apply it for every single property? You have
Proof
to
of funds, right? Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. So when you are making offers on the MLS, yes, their agents are almost always going to require proof of funds, right? Because me as an agent, when I was taught to be an agent, it was, hey, if you're going to go help a buyer, right, and show a buyer a house, would they want to go see a $500,000 house if they found out they could only afford $250,000 in a loan? Well, it's like, no, because then they're going to love seeing the $500,000 house and be like, oh my God, I want this house. Then we figure out they can only afford 250. And then I show them a $250,000 house. And they're gonna be like, this house is terrible. Like, I don't want this. Like, I want that. Right. It's like, we have to qualify our buyer based on what they can afford, right? And so us as agents, we're always taught, hey, I'm not showing you a single house till I know what you can afford, what you can get pre-approved for, because why are we going to go look at something that's just totally out of your budget, right? And so it's such a big part of being an agent to go and look up like how much they can get pre-approved for before showing homes. And so now when you guys make offers on listings, every agent is almost always going to ask you, oh, wow, Huey's the man. Look at that. He just shared his keywords with you guys all typed out perfectly with the asterisk and everything. Yeah, I would say
screenshot, right?
Dude, copy and paste it. Don't screenshot it. Text it to yourself, dude. So then you don't have to type it again. Yeah, copy and paste it. Email it to yourself. I just saved it. I taught him how to do it and I'm saving it. You know what I mean? But yeah, listing agent, they're always going to want proof of funds. If you need proof of funds, hard money lender can usually provide that for you. I know Jesse, he for sure will. So the guy I put in the chat, if anyone needs Jesse's info, I'll say it out loud for the people watching the recording. So Jesse's phone number is 856-777-6688. Reach out to Jesse, tell him you want to get pre-approved or you need a pre-approval letter, and he can help you out there.
And do you have to get pre-approval letter for every single property that you make an offer on?
No, that's the nice thing. With Jesse's pre-approval letter, you could just use that one pre-approval letter on all the offers you make.
Oh, thank God. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
So if you have a different person instead of Jesse, then you might need a new letter per deal.
So here's the thing, right? Like typically you're supposed to use like the letter that your lender gives you to go when they ask you for a pre-approval letter, right? Now,
Right.
does everyone do that? No. Should you?
No, like I made an
Probably.
offer on the MLS and they didn't even ask me for proof of funds.
And sometimes they won't. Like sometimes you're dealing with like a new
Yeah, they
agent
didn't even
who
ask.
doesn't know what to ask. But 9 times out of 10, when you're dealing with agents, they will most likely ask because we've just been trained to, right? But when you're dealing with the homeowner
Right.
directly, they're never trained to ask. They don't know to ask for proof of funds.
No,
So,
no,
like,
it
9
was
times
a,
out
it
of
was
10
a, it was a, it was a, it was a realtor.
oh,
I
okay, love
literally
it.
just
But yeah,
found the deal on the MLS and I called the realtor
yeah,
and then I just I ran it through the deal calculator and then he put in the offer for me because I told him he can double end it or whatever.
yeah.
So he was like, "Oh yeah." So
It is day.
you
Yes,
know,
sir.
but I didn't get it, but you know,
All
I
good.
did it.
Hey,
I did an offer.
good.
So that was cool.
Yes, sir. You made the
Yeah.
offer and at least
So
you made the
okay, cool.
attempt.
Appreciate it.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
Roham, quick question. What's Jesse's Instagram? If you have.
That is a good question. Let me try to find it real quick. So yeah, back on the MLS thing, because that's a very good point that you brought up. So I just want to finish that out, especially for the people who go back and watch the recording. So Jesse's Instagram, it's at the THE Jesse JESSE Nguyen NGUYEN. And then for you guys, it's in the chat. At the Jesse Nguyen. You can go hit him up on IG and connect with them there. But yeah, if you guys are making offers on the MLS, just know that you have to typically use the real estate contract, the purchase agreement that the agents give you, not our contract, because when you use our contract, that's for off market. That's when there's no agents involved. It's just you and the homeowner. When you're trying to buy a deal off the MLS, they've already signed something with the listing agent, the seller has, saying, hey, the sale has to go through my listing agent. It has to go through their brokerage. They have to get paid a commission as part of this transaction. So you have to use their purchase contract. So what I recommend is call the agent and say, hey, I don't have an agent representing me. Would you be willing to represent me for my offer on this home? Right. And ideally they say yes, because if they do, that's the best chance you have at getting your deal accepted, because they know what the seller wants, they know what you want, and they want to bring you together so that they can double end the commission, right? So ideally, if the seller's agent is willing to represent you, have them represent you. Sometimes they can't or won't. In those cases, you need another agent that can make the offers for you. So you need to find a local agent. Anyone needs one in Vegas? I'm in Vegas. Other than that, I can help you find an agent in another state. So if you need help finding agents, hit me up. But you're going to need to find a local agent that can help make offers for you if they're unable or unwilling to represent you for your offer.
Do you still show houses?
So
I don't
I
show
got a
houses a
question.
lot anymore. I refer that part out a little bit. So like I have agents on my team who help me and show houses. I'll pay them like 50 or $100 to just go show houses for a day. But it depends. If it's like an investor versus a typical buyer, it just depends on the situation. But just shoot me a text and we can talk.
Another quick question, Ro.
Yeah, what's up, Ty? What's up, buddy?
So the hard money lender.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. So the hard money lender. So regardless of what part of the phase that we're in, it's always best to just upfront get that pre-approval letter, and
Yes.
then just use that as a base for any properties that we do look for or come across in the future. Then we can have that.
Exactly, because like they're not
Okay,
always
perfect,
going to ask for the proof of funds, but they might ask for proof of funds, right? And if they
Good to have
do,
it in the
just
arsenal,
tell them,
right?
hey, I got this pre-approval letter from my lender. You know, will this qualify for you guys?
Right. Okay, perfect, man.
Sweet.
Hey, Roham, I was trying to find a title company,
Uh-huh.
and what are you looking for when you find a title company? Like what kind of question you ask them?
Yeah,
Or
for sure. That's a great
what?
question. First off, are you guys investor friendly? Now, everyone's going to say yes, but that doesn't really mean they are investor friendly, right? And then you would ask them, are you familiar with wholesaling real estate? Yes or no? Are you familiar with assignment agreements, right? Because now this is like really checking if they say, yeah, we work with wholesaling all the time. Do you know what an assignment agreement is? No, I've never heard of that. Well, then no, you've never worked with a wholesaler before. That's all they use is the assignment agreement, right? So it's like just kind of filtering and just like asking them those kinds of questions like, do you work with any flippers or investors right now? Do you have anyone that, do you have any investors that you could refer to me to ask about like working with you guys and their experience with you, right? Do you guys typically work with a lot of flippers and wholesalers, right? And those are the kinds of questions you want to ask. Are you familiar with assignment agreements? How fast can you close a file? That's a big one, right? Because some title companies, they'll tell you, hey, dude, minimum, I need like 3 weeks. And you might have some situations where you're like, hey, I need to close in 3 days. Like this guy's about to get foreclosed on if we don't do that, right? And so like, how fast can you close per needed, right? It's like, hey, we're not gonna have to close in like 3 days every time, but in special situations, we might need to close fast. So I need to know, are you guys willing to close fast? 2, are you guys willing to open an investor book for me and give me a discounted rate if I do enough business with you guys, right? So that's another good one. I don't know if it's exactly called an investor book, but it's like there's some kind of like book or something they can have for you, and like you get discounted rates because you keep using that title company and you do like 5 to 10 transactions a year. So for them, they'll give you discounts. That's the kind of questions I would ask.
Thank you.
Also, same thing, go ask in those same Facebook groups where I recommend finding wholesalers, the Las Vegas real estate investor, Las Vegas real estate wholesalers. Hey, does anyone have any investor friendly title company recommendations?
Thank you.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, hope this was helpful for you. If anyone has any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'll put my number in the chat right now if you guys want to shoot me a text. I've got a few calls and stuff to get back to, so I'll be reaching out later today if anyone does need any help. But yeah, guys, excited to be your guys' coach. Did you guys get a lot of value out of this call?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank
Awesome.
you.
So
Absolutely.
2 last things before we wrap things up. 1, we really want to see more student referrals. So if you guys know anyone who's interested in joining coaching, if you guys go to futureflipper.com/refer, you can actually sign people up to speak with our team. And if our team speaks with them and signs them up and you're the one who submitted their info, we'll be paying you a referral fee for recruiting anyone to Future Flipper. So all you need to do is just put their name, their number, their email, all that stuff. And then at the bottom, just put your name. And then just say like you're a rookie student, your phone number or email, and then submit it. Our team will call and close them. And the referral rate's pretty good. Right now, it's like $2K for All-Star or 20% on Rookie and Mastermind. So if you guys need some marketing money or a way to repay for your coaching, it's a great way to get some money. So if you guys have anyone that you think would be a good fit, feel free to go to futureflipper.com/refer, refer them our way, and get them signed up. Cool. Other than that, take a picture, post. My IG is the same as always, just my name. Show people that you're active and you're doing this. And that way, when you want to go talk to your friends and family who have money, then you're like, hey, you see those Instagram stories I post every freaking Monday at 2 to 3 and Tuesday from 3 to 4. You know what those are? I'm learning about real estate. I'm actually learning how to flip houses, right? It's like a conversation starter. So this just makes it easier for you guys to go talk to people you know with money. The more you post about it, because then they're just going to be like, oh yeah, I did see that. Who's that guy? What's Future Flipper? Like, what are they teaching you, right? And so then you can talk to them like, they're actually showing us how to use hard money and private money lenders to go and flip houses. What does that look like? And then you just be like, well, for example, here's a deal. If you want to be the private money lender, this is what it looked like. And then, that's how you start private money conversations. Cool. All right, guys. Hope everyone has a great day. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.